Greetings to our viewers at home. Welcome back to our book reading segment known as Ufundo Lwencwadi. Today we are still continuing with our book titled 10 Golden Wisdoms to be a Champion Matriculant by Mxolisi Mgitywa. Today we are going to be reading Wisdom 4 that is titled Check and Validate Your Study Techniques. Now that we have learned from the third wisdom about time management, it is time we check what we can do to have a smooth and very productive studying for our exams as champions. And I cannot emphasize enough on this wisdom because it is a must-do for you, but I hope you find it useful for your journey. One thing you have to understand, champions, is that as much as I wrote this book to guide you to your championship, it is not to destroy you but to build you and prepare your personality to pass with flying colors and reach your target so that you avoid unnecessary gap years. Research shows that your mind at this age can be able to remain in absolute focus for only 45 minutes before it starts losing the momentum. Therefore, it is highly recommended that you take breaks in between your study. You can take a complete hour to put your mind on the content, then take a break afterwards. Take a break away from your study station and get some fresh air outside. Take some deep breaths, call a friend, or even better, grab yourself a nice and healthy snack, but avoid on the social media platforms because your mind will be drifted away by so many trends in there and possibly lose 80% of the content you have consumed so far. Therefore, avoid that. This is a complex subject to squeeze in one small book, but below I have tried to bring you some really crucial do's and don'ts points that will help you adopt Wisdom 4, which is to check and validate your study techniques. List of the do's. Plan on time and avoid studying all day. Write notes and focus on one thing at a time. Communicate your study struggles and create your own exam at home. Find what works for you and stay positive. Make sure your system is hydrated and have only healthy snacks. Set goals or targets and join study groups. Be physically active. Plan on time and avoid studying all day. There's a saying that goes, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Believe me, this is true. As a champion, you will have to learn to plan properly in advance and avoid a procrastinator mentality because you will not like the consequences. Having a proper plan means that you know which parts of the subject you are studying that you find difficult to crack down and point all the complexities of the chapter one by one as soon as possible, be it science or commerce. Be sure that you are in control. Paste your plan on the wall or somewhere where you can see, perhaps close to your study timetable. Attempt these complex concepts first with breaks in between as recommended so that you allow your mind to arrange the information accurately in your mind storage, your conscious or memory. Talk to someone who understands them better and share your difficulties on them so that they get to help you out. Do not be prideful to ask for help from someone who knows how, because pride never pays most of the times. Repeat this way before the exams for a couple of times so that your mind can adopt this as a culture of your study. Champions know when it's enough, and so should you as a newly honored champion. Do not study all day. Your brain will need some rest. So planning on time helps you avoid this. Having a trusty guide helps you also avoid frustrations and unexpected disasters due to last-minute syndrome. Write down notes and focus one thing at a time. For every chapter, make sure that you take notes. It helps a lot, trust me, because it helps you remember what you have been studying. This will also come in handy because now you will know how much you do not know or left out and be able to come back to cover everything in due time. Write small notes on your rough workbook will also help with the arrangement of the content in your memory for easy access. Focus on one thing at a time. And I understand that this year for you is full of panic and uncertainties. But as a champion, you want to just have that one chance to execute a perfect knockout punch, just like in boxing. So to achieve this, champions polish their skills on one thing over and over again so that it is in line with their execution strategy. This will help you a lot when you get to the examinations because there are questions that will come out looking very familiar to the ones you practice, and that will be your chance to knock it out instantly with that shining grin on your face. This also helps build your confidence when writing exams. The way you approach questions will be easier. Pick one thing and decide on how you want to approach it, then start working on it. Communicate your study struggles and create your own exam at home. Now that you are a champion matriculate, learn to communicate your feelings to your people, be it your family or friends, but let them know about your timetable and your study time. Let your peers know that you will be an offer from the socials for a while and you will win this race with flying colors. People who love you will care enough to give you space and support you deserve to master your craft. But you'll have to communicate this with them as soon as possible so that they are aware of everything. Sometimes your family may like to play music so loud, or even your neighbor perhaps. Therefore, if you have a proper talk with them, they will understand and respect your wishes. Make sure that you create constant exams for yourself that are based on the content you are studying. Remember the saying, practice makes perfect. Good then, that means you understand this wisdom. Download as many apps that have study material to practice and download past year's question papers as well and use them to familiarize yourself with the examiner's questioning style. Understand a sequence of various questions as per chapter you were taught during your syllabus coverage. You can also download both question papers and their memorandums for practice so that after every task you do, you can check the answers and how the examiner wants you to attempt your questions. This will help you grow a lot, my champion, and your mind will be stimulated by this, and it's exciting. Let me let you into a secret. Examiners have a tendency of repeating previous questions on the current year's exams exactly as they asked them in the past years. So if you practice frequently with this approach, you may be luckier to bump on a question that you have practiced, carrying fat marks. And that's just a bonus for you. Make sure you nail it to the moon. That's what champions do. Shoot only knockouts. Always take exams as your enemy or opponent in the ring. So enjoy the pain of practice, knowing that you're going to face a kill or be killed kind of situation. Remember, you are a champion, so therefore, we aren't playing games here. Your precious country needs you fully equipped, mentally fit and strong. So, what is it going to be? Are you going to surrender like a coward and let your home be ruled on your behalf, or are you going to knock the heck out of these exams and claim your championship? South Africa needs you, your family as well, but it all begins right here, right now. Find what works for you and stay positive. You cannot be a jack of all trades because you will be the master of none. Establishing routine or study culture is vital, as stated by various sources on this matter. You have diverse means to approach your content, but you need to find what works best for you. Times of the day differ, from mornings to afternoons, and so is your body feeling and brain power. Find the time that is conducive and more productive for you, and be honest with yourself. I beg you, champion. If you can feel that your system needs to shut down a bit, allow it and take a power nap. Tell your siblings or set an alarm to wake you up after an hour or so. Then you can resume with your rejuvenated energy. Forcing your system to carry you even when it is at zero will cause it to bail out on you, and you will blame witchcraft. It is imperative to also understand yourself better, and as you build a champion in you, but at the same time you avoid a possible disaster that may destroy your super plan. Positivity is a must. I understand that perhaps the situation doesn't permit right now, but remember, champions, conquer it all no matter what, because they are self-aware. Learn to accept what you can't change or have no control over and live with it. You need you, and so does the world. Then you cannot afford to compromise the crucial parts of your well-being. Some exams will pose lots of difficulty upon you. I can't say it will all be easy. You will take some punches here and there. Every champion goes through that, but the results will surely indicate your efforts of hard work eventually, as they pay off great rewards. Make sure your system is hydrated and only have healthy snacks. Exams can be really exhausting from your mind to your body. To avoid fatigue, drink enough water to stay hydrated at all times. Your body will need enough lubrication, just like in mechanical machines. The more they work, the more they heat up. So they need to cool down, and so is your system. This has been proven to be very effective. Some pupils use milk to add on some great nutrients like potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and B vitamins, to state a few. This is good for your system, since some researchers suggest 3 glasses of milk a day for people over the age of 9. Stay hydrated as much as you can. Your brain needs this, and your system in its entirety. At least carry water with you wherever you are, and drink 2 liters every day. Take care of that body, champion, because it's a vehicle that will help you achieve with higher marks and be the champion matriculate you deserve to be. During some breaks in between your studying, be sure that the snack you consume is healthy products. Avoid oily products because they may add on your exhaustions. Trust me, I know this and have experienced it firsthand. I used to love fried eggs with bread for a snack, and after that I only entertained thoughts of sliding into my bed and pass out. But then, all thanks to my champion spirit, because it forced me to stay up. Fight hard to be a champion, being in the League of Champions. Then you will be right on your way to becoming the millionaire or billionaire you are dreaming of. Let me share another surprising point on this matter that may also help you. Some research reflects that chewing gum can benefit you during breaks to increase your concentration, memory, and reaction time. It is said that chewing causes more saliva to build up and flush out unnecessary acidity, but do not overdo it. Your healthy snack may include almonds, dried fruits, dark chocolate, some air-popped popcorn, edamame, apples, and nut butter. Cool smoothie, frozen grapes, and some veggies. Brown rice, crackers, coffee with milk, and lastly, have some muesli bars. So make sure you draw up a list of your snack and adhere to it. Remember, we are training ourselves to be winners here. And like I mentioned, the champions use a game plan to win their fights. Now it is your turn to adopt that wisdom and apply. Set goals or targets and join study groups. Champions set a target to claim the championship title and stay on top of their game. Now that you have dedicated yourself to read these guidelines to reach that level in your life, you will need to set your target or goals too, since this shall help encourage you along your way. Write those goals down on the paper and paste them on the wall in your room and have it in your books so that you see them every time as a constant reminder of why you are training hard and sweating yourself out so much. No man is an island. I am sure you heard that before, so join constructive groups for discussions on different subject matters and make sure that you are also effective and productive amongst other group members. Contribute helpful and insightful content that can benefit your peers. This will help you so much because you will get a chance to socialize and interact with like-minded friends. More people can solve problems faster, and you need that as well. But before you go to a group interaction, note down all the concepts that you are struggling with so that you can ask about them and get some smart answers and solutions from your group mates. Again, I repeat this: do not waste time on detrimental matters that will add no value on your studies. Be mindful of time and use group discussions wisely. This will also assist you to understand complex topics. Be physically active. Preparing or studying for examination rates as one of the most stressful periods of your life. And right now, you will have a couple of tasks and exams to write, so commit your well-being as much as you can. You will need a healthy and active body to carry you through, so start now to take care of it by going for some morning jogs or just indoor exercises to stretch your muscles. Practice some breathing techniques. Inhale and exhale slowly, allowing enough fresh oxygen to your lung channels. Your system will need more strength and resilience at this moment, so never compromise what your body needs because it's all you got for the battle ahead. Sleep enough and get some motivational content to also feed your mind with. Most people jeopardize their health for no good reason, but as for champions, we sacrifice it all for the reward, and this is your one time, so do me a favor. Do not blow it. Adhere also to your emotional health and fix what needs to be fixed, and make peace if necessary, but make sure you are okay, as in perfect to say. You need you more than anything or anybody else, and champions take care of themselves. List of don'ts: laziness and procrastination, cram sessions, unnecessary distractions, excessive use of caffeine, energy drinks, cigarette, sugary and fatty food. I will keep this list short and simple so that you are able to comprehend it easier. Laziness and procrastinating. Laziness is an intrinsic demonic spirit that champions always fight with at all angles so that it doesn't win. This spirit is so dangerous in a way that Every dream you have in your life may never come through if you allow it. Champions never back down, and right now you are becoming one, so you better up your game, because this demon is unleashed and it is roaming to devour any elusive victim out there. There's a difference between laziness and being tired after completing a task that required your energy vastly. This spirit gets the best of all of us, and if you entertain it, I've got some bad news for you. You are about to watch your own future dissipate right on your side. Champions, just like millionaires and billionaires, they fight to the end. You must never allow laziness to determine your day or tell you not to study, because that is how it operates. You will sleep too much and eat too much and do less of your schoolwork. Laziness has a friend called procrastination. These two work interchangeably and together. They are strong. So you allow one, the other sets in instantly too. So many students like postponing studying for the next day, and champions do not do that because they have their dreams well defined and ready to be achieved. Our nature as humans is selfish, and it is up to you to shape yours. Aim so high that giving up becomes not an option in your diary. Push yourself to greatness and study according to your timetable. Now that you know that laziness has no grand reward for you. Champions stand even when it's not pleasant to them, but because they are aware like you now, they choose the hard way. Try to avoid laziness at all costs and do not postpone your studies for leisure. It's a bad and low behavior of losers, and quite frankly, that will be you settling for a disaster ending of your future before it even takes off. If really you are willing to turn your life around, this is the time to keep yourself activated and seek for ways to motivate yourself. Therefore, do not contemplate. Start as soon as possible to avoid unwanted surprises along your journey. I hope you understand this because it's fundamental. Cramming sessions. Cramming refers to an act of forcing your mind to store something it doesn't understand. This is very common at school, and we also did it, and apparently it doesn't work as much as you wish it would. There's too much to study and cannot be understood at one go. So take it easy on yourself and also try and understand the type of a student you are. You are naturally gifted students who can understand certain curriculum concepts faster than you, and that is okay. It doesn't make you a slow person at all. There are also some students who need time to wrap their minds around a particular content, so know yourself and abide by that. Therefore, I tell you this, as students, you are not the same. Accept that and learn your nature. You can cram one-word questions for multiple choices and definitions, but after you have done a thorough research about their origin and what they really define. You cannot cram discussion type of questions because they change all the time. You position yourself perfectly for frustration to pay you a visit amid your exams, and you will freeze and go blank. If you understand the previous wisdoms, then you know by now that champions do not entertain procrastination, but they act according to an appropriate plan, and they give themselves time to study, practice, and understand. Then repeat, and so should you. It is a simple formula. You can call it SPU. You are a championeer in the making, so do not be too hard on yourself. Learn therefore what I have left here for you and make use of it, because it worked wonders for me, and it can work for you too. I have observed it while I was still a teacher in the field and practically back-tested it with a couple of students who used to come to me for mentorship and guidance. Results were outstanding and inevitable. Adopt these wisdoms and practice them together with good habits. Unlearn anything that will cut your success short and strive for excellence. Unnecessary distractions. Cell phones, social media, friends and partying, excessive watching of TV. All these will dig you a grave of failure so deep that you will not be able to make it back up. You are becoming a champion now. Therefore, I declare these detrimental to you, so refrain from using them. I know some usually use ridiculous phrases like, I die without my phone, or I can't live without my social media. I need to post and stay updated. Well, here's the thing, you are wrong. You can live just fine without social media, TV, or unnecessary visits with your friends. Let me tell you this, Mark will make money through your use of his social media services and become richer, and he doesn't even care. And at the time, you will lose it all and drown. You want to be a champion matriculate and get those good results. Well, here's the price you've got to pay. Deactivate the social media temporarily until you finish your exams. Suspend all partying events with friends and use of any kind of drugs, because that is a direct distraction to your master plan. Trust me, it will not hurt, but I'll tell you what will hurt. Failing your exams after spending years in school. So be warned, my champion. I know you do not deserve that. So do not force your life into such a traumatic disaster. Excessive use of caffeine, energy drinks, cigarettes, sugary and fatty food. Exams can be stressful and require more energy. Due to this matter, lack of concentration in most students forces them to use some supplements to boost their energy levels. As much as this may sound nice, and I know most of you venture into, be careful, because these products may also harm you in the long run. Having a cup of coffee one after the other, going for a smoke of cigarette outside, or feeding your cravings with food that is concentrated with too much sugar or fat, and having too much caffeine from energy drinks, this will not help you, but eventually your thinking capacity will be dependent on them and will not be able to work independently. Your organic thinking is far enough than anything else in the world, and at this point in your life, you do not need anything to compromise the natural power of your God-given brain abilities. So I say try to slow down and substitute with healthier methods that I have mentioned. Champions do not follow what the masses do, but these people look for healthier ways to stay alive but still be productive. Stress is common in humans, so you are not an exception. I have seen students smoking weed excessively during school time, and this used to concern me a lot until I asked them what was the reason, and their answers shook me badly. Some told me they couldn't understand a thing in class if they were sober, so they needed to be high. This indicated to me that their minds are now slaves to drugs in order to function. I know your friends will not tell you this, but trust me, as cool as smoking cigarette or weed may seem, like, consequences aren't as glamorous. Drowning yourself into drugs will damage the only Garden of Eden you have, which is your mind, and you need it. Let's check the facts. According to the various scientific studies, it has been discovered that fatty and sugary products, caffeine and nicotine, they all have the ability to increase one's dopamine levels, but it's for a short period of time. Dopamine can provide instant self-satisfaction, memory improvement, and inspiration. However, as soon as the feeling drops, you are in trouble because you'll feel exhausted and easily just distracted, worse than before. So for you to fully be a champion, I advise you to love your body system enough that you do not feed it products that will have extreme long-term after effects. Do not go for a quick fix. You are blessed with this empire called mind and a body to carry you around. Keep healthy and eat healthy at all times because you need you. I am counting on you, and so does South Africa. And even Africa, so do not gamble with what you cannot replace or cannot afford to lose, which is yourself. Be a champion. Well, viewers at home, that was the end of Wisdom 4. That was titled Check and Validate Your Study Techniques. On Monday, we will be reading Wisdom 5. That is titled 4 Annual Quotas Examination Preparations. Continue liking and following the Informer